Hello, Internet, and those who inhabit it, at least for the time being, until I update this project a bit more, because I'm certainly not done working on it. My name is Luke Mavrodakis, and this is my little browser game called Call Me By Your Shade. Well, this is the documentation, at least. Let's see what the main menu looks like. So this is generally what it'll look like. Not exactly, because as you'll notice if you play the game yourself, every time you reload the page, the website gets a randomized color palette for its UI, which can also be changed through this button right here if you don't like the color and don't want to reload your page. It's also important to note that these are SVG files, actually two separate ones. And I was lucky enough to find some code by the wonderful developer named Barrett Sontag, which I was able to utilize in order to just use black SVG like script and have it color in accordance to a randomized color palette on the website as well. So it fits with this too. So besides this, I want to give all the other credit where credit is due. So first of all, I originally was going to be using the Color Lovers API for a core aspect of this game. However, I realized pretty much last minute that that was not going to be reliable and really kind of wouldn't do what I wanted it to do at all. So about like an hour or two before the due date, I swapped this API out for the Color Names API by a wonderful developer from Switzerland named David Aerne, who I've actually spoken with since. I tweeted at him thanking him for coming in clutch on that, and he replied wanting to see it. I sent him the link, and he's going to check it out. So besides that, the buttons that you'll see later on the game screen are from Icons 8. The sounds are from Mixkit. And the largest piece of code that is not my own is the color picker in the game, and that is done by Peter Dematté. So let's see what the game looks like itself. So when you load in, it'll look a little something like this. You'll have a few things. First thing is a clue, and second is a whole bunch of controls. So the point of the game is to find the color behind the clue. So you have a lot of ways to do that. First of all, you've got a color wheel here that you can drag this cursor around on, and you've got a whole bunch of sliders. This one's for brightness, and then you got 6 for the major color attributes of a color, which would be red, green, blue, hue, saturation, and luminance. And you got some arrows if you want to change all that stuff incrementally. That's pretty much it for controls. When you change the color, it has a the color shows up here, and it has the hex code of that current color, which isn't essential to the game, but it was an artifact of importing this color picker and utilizing it. So I thought it was cool to keep. It's also important to note that whenever a color has a luminance above 100 or above 50 rather, the text on here and the text on a panel that you'll see later automatically change to contrast that. So if it's below 50, it goes white. If it's above 50, it goes black. So I'm just going to try this out and see what I can do. So Artemisia green. So stuff like this is kind of, it can be abstract, but some of them are pretty easy to gauge. I would say that it would be fair to look up what this meant if you were playing yourself. I'm not going to right now, so I can just kind of get a general attempt at this and see whether I'll get it right or wrong naturally. So let's see. I would imagine, honestly, it might even be a color that's similar to this color palette, coincidentally. So let's see if we can get something close to that. Something lower, yeah, green bluish, something a little lower in saturation, maybe. Uh, maybe some more green. No, let's see. Oh, okay, a little more red, and then luminance down. I would say that's a good first guess. So when you're ready with that, all you got to do is press take a guess. So after the first guess, the layout changes a bit, and you get some information. First would be the distance of your guess from the color, and that is calculated through Color.js, which I've been utilizing a lot for this project. So for reference, 100% would be the distance between black and white. You also get this panel here, which tells you your previous color attributes from your previous guess, as well as you have whether you have too much or too little of that attribute compared to the correct color. So that's what you can utilize to kind of find some techniques to track down what you're looking for. I actually know a couple of ways to so some kind of foolproof methods to get a color in less than 10 guesses. But I'm not going to spoil that for you guys. I'm going to leave that to you. Figure out your own ways to mess with this stuff. So first of all, what you can gauge on this is that, so red is high. So that would mean that the correct number for red would be below 187. So because I'm 15% away, that's actually not too far. So I'm gonna go a bit below, but not too much. Same with the others. I'm gonna go down a bit on each of them. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna hit guess again. Didn't get much closer, but it's getting there. But what I did find was that the blue value of 107 is too low. And oh, you know what? I forgot to mention. These are the buttons here that are from Icons 8. And what this does, this panel, which is in fact the panel that also changes text based on the luminance. You can click through this and see your previous guesses, the colors that they were, and the attributes, and whether they were high or low. So you can kind of see that throughout the game and use it to kind of track down what you're doing. So how I would figure this out is that so the 107 is low and 148 is high. So the blue value would be between 107 and 148. So I'm going to put somewhere in the middle there. I'll do like 130. That seems good. So 220 is high, 183 is high for green. I'm just going to move it down some more. I'm going to say that like no, it's got to be a green. So I'm thinking it might be up. I think the red's got to be less than the green, but then the green's got to be above the blue. Maybe. I don't I'm winging it. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about colors to really gauge that. But someone who does could probably do this better than me. So that looks like a good next guess. Let's click it. Oh, so this would mean that the blue value 130 is low, 148 is high. So the blue would be between 130 and 148. I'm going to bring it up like halfway. We'll do 139. And I personally just like to use the RGB values, but I kept these all on the screen. I was thinking originally of putting like a button over here to swap between RGB and HSL, but you know what? I really feel like that would have been too much work for nothing because I feel like this looks great. I don't know. I like it a lot, and there are people I'm sure who are going to want to use both at the same time. So there you go. So blue's good for now. We got 161 is low and 183 is high. So it's between 161 and 183, the green. We'll move it up we'll move it up halfway, like 6 or something like that. And then 119 is high. So I just got to move red down a bit more. So I can just kind of put it anywhere that I would imagine this color might be. That seems good. Let's see. So 97 is low. That's good. But I am damn close to that color. It's not usually that quick, honestly. I got kind of lucky for the means of this demonstration, but that's good. That's good. They'd think that I really know what I'm doing. So 97 is low and 119 is high. Between 97 and 119, I'll go like 110. 111, that's good. 166 is low, 183 is high. So we're gonna do like I'll do like 175. And then 139 is low for the blue. So it's between 139 and 148. So I'm gonna bring it up like 144, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I'm further from it. Okay. So we've got 144. Maybe I messed something up. I don't know. The blue 144 is high, 139 is low. Okay, so we're between 139 and 144. That's pretty good information. We're getting close. Green 175 is high, 166 is low. So we'll go like 170. We'll go like 170, sure. And then red 111 is high, so it's between 111 and 97. 111 and 97? Yeah. Okay. Let's bring it like 104. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting closer. I think I might be able to get this before the 10 guesses. So 144 is low, 144 is high. 141 is low, 144 is high, excuse me. So I'm definitely going to get that because there's only two possible numbers that are in that field. 175 is high for 170 is high for green. So it's between 166 and 170. So we'll do like 168, and then that'll give us the answer in the next guess. Red 104 is high, 97 is low. So we're gonna go like 101. And then you know what? Here it is. So we've got the perfect red and blue value. When you don't have it high or low, when you have it right on the money, this is what you see. Perfect. And I think I'm gonna be able to get this in the next guess. 0.25% away. And I guess that's what it says when you're one number off or something like that. So 170 is high, 168 is low. Yeah, when you're one number off, it's 0.25%. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. So now when you click this, you'll see that I guess the color. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole concept of the game. One thing I do want to show in means of the menu is the past games field. And what that shows you is, well, our past games. So we've got the color that we guessed, that we got to on the top, the answer color on the bottom. You've got the phrase, that was the clue, and how close you got. And this adds on every time you complete a game. This saves to local storage as well. So it just kind of holds on to it. And that's something, honestly, wasn't too hard to do. It probably took a couple hours to set up compared to a lot of other stuff here, like the thing I'll show you next, which probably took maybe 12 to 14 hours, which were 12 to 14 hours of my last 48 hours, mind you. So let's see that. This is the help screen, and this pretty much just tells you everything that I've told you. But it's something I'm very proud of because I was able to work it out pretty flawlessly in the vision I had. So obviously this is my handwriting. I think that's pretty unique. So you can click through this and you've got the actual game screen behind it. So it holds on to the, the correct color palette for the game, and, doesn't screw that up. So it like highlights, all the stuff that it wants you to look at, kind of tells you everything that's going on, what you can do. I'll just click through it here. It tells you all the things, the attributes, yep. And then you can click the arrows. And then, tells you if you want to go back to the menu or go on the game. I'll show you that it like transitions nicely. And I'll show you again that that shows up on the history there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it in terms of stuff that is important to the game. Let's get into a couple of things regarding the process in making this. So first of all, obviously, I was very lucky in that I've been able to work on this project longer than most students in my class have been able to work on their project 3, because this was also my project 2. And I messed with Pixie.js, which is what most of the people are making games for project 3 on in class with some of the exercises, and realized I didn't really love it, and I didn't think I'd be able to do what I wanted to do on that. I didn't really have an idea in the first place, honestly, for something on that. So when I finished project 2, and I was thinking about project 3 kind of simultaneously because that's how that class went, I realized there wasn't really a better option. So I did this, and I couldn't be happier, because this is got to be most definitely a portfolio piece for me now, especially as I continue to update it, because I'm definitely not done working on it. Well, let's see. The challenges. There were certainly a lot of challenges on this project. This was not one at all. I was able to set this up very, very quick. I think probably the biggest challenges were the little buttons here that allowed you to increment the color attributes, because that's something that I wanted to change. That's something I had in mind since the very beginning. That was one of my biggest pieces of feedback from my playtesting on well, project two and project three, honestly. So, I was really desperate to get that working, and I'm very glad that I did kind of close to the end. What else? Oh, definitely the cursor here and this specific slider, not these, because these are kind of connected in a different way. Um, so it was very when I implemented this in the first place, this cursor was very buggy and would not stay in the right place. And just, it just wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So after weeks and weeks and weeks of adding different layers of like small fixes to it, I think I've finally gotten it to a place where it feels very reliable. So I'm really happy about that. I think I wouldn't, I guess I wouldn't say it was a challenge, but it was a point of contention when I was still using the Color Lovers API, and it had like the same few colors that were showing up, and I realized like, oh, this isn't doing what I wanted it to do. So what do I do now? And luckily, um, my now friend from Switzerland kind of had everything that I needed that I needed in that, and I found that super last minute, and it was just great because it just has words, it has phrases that are so much more less abstract, I would say. Because it was actually, the API was actually basically made for this, for naming most of the colors in the RGB color space. And I think there are actually about 29,000 color names in here in this API. So I can almost guarantee you that you will never get the same. Well, I can guarantee you that you'll never get the same phrase twice because I have something that'll go around that and pick another name and another color if that's the case. But I don't think that will ever even be a problem because my code picks a random color and then it puts that in, and then it picks one of like 30,000 color names. So there's that. um, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, besides the this layout here, yeah, because obviously you can't change that in raw CSS. So after the first round, I had to make sure everything was like working super reliably and like staying in this layout after the fact. And I think I got it to a really good standard. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. So I think that's pretty much it. I want to do more with this screen. That's one thing. Like I just wanted to add some more information. I didn't put in as much as I wanted to. Like I wanted the percentage distance that you got, like the phrase, and maybe even like the correct RGB HSL color attributes, that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'll definitely be doing that in the future though. And also another point of feedback that I've gotten that I wasn't able to implement unfortunately yet is a tiered scoring system, which would be something like if you get a certain percent away from the color, like the smaller that percentage gets, the more like stars out of 5 you get. I'll definitely be adding that in the future. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So this is Call Me by Your Shade, one of my most proud projects since coming to Rochester Institute of Technology, and I hope you enjoy it.